Alright, family, so everybody asking me about the toys and the toy collection. So I'm gonna go through a few pieces of things that I have in here and the reason I collect toys. My number one reason for collecting toys is because I'm a film buff. I study film. Film is my favorite subject. Film is my favorite work, is my favorite job, is my life. I'm embedded into film. So most things that you're gonna see in here are film related, cartoon related, or things that used to come on TV in the 80s and in the 90s because I'm a nostalgic junkie. So let's just go through some of the things that I have in here and let's see how much nostalgia I could tap into for some of you guys. On top, I have some loyal subjects. You can see, well, except for minus Iron Man. Iron Man, I feel like was like a one of them Happy Meal gifts or something like that. No, I don't eat McDonald's, but I just end up getting the Iron Man. You got Bison right there from Street Fighter. Everybody that ever played Street Fighter coming up back in the 90s, you already know. Gotta have Bison. You have Akuma right there, Ryu, Guile, Chun-Li. This is Chun-Li. She's not a loyal subject though, but Chun-Li is more in the she's in the Funko Pop version of Chun-Li right there. How many people remember Knight Rider? Knight Rider was my SHIT. You know what I mean? This was my lit when it used to come on back in the days. Used to love Knight Rider. Kid the talking car, couldn't go wrong with that. However you want to call him. I love Batman. Batman is my favorite guy, so of course 1950s Batmobile was a must for me, and I mean that's something that I had to collect. Moving on, Dragon Ball Z is my favorite animation, so I collect a lot of Dragon Ball Z pieces. This is Goku in the Great Ape version right here. We got Shenron right there. You gotta get them 7 Dragon Balls to summon Shenron to get the Dragon Wishes. You got Hulk back there with the gauntlet on from the last Avengers movie. You got Vegeta in his rare Super Saiyan form right there. You got Goku right next to him in his Super Saiyan form right there. In the back, you got Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy. As you can see, he's still in his case with his little leather jacket on. We might not be able to see it too good because of the glare off my light. But yeah, that's Groot right there, and his leather jacket, never even opened him up. If you ever seen Roger Rabbit back in the day, that's the Weasel right there, one of the bad guys. He's in a Funko Pop character, and right next to him, of course, is the Riddler. You already know about Chip and Dale. You already know about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That's Chip right there. And of course, I got Dale and Zipper. Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys familiar with that, but that's a giant Ninja Turtle right there. You know what I mean? These came out back in the 80s, I want to say. But he's a giant Michelangelo right there. Then you got a 1980s Kermit the Frog right there. A vintage Oscar the Grouch and Grover, because those 3 characters are like my favorite characters from the Muppets. Jim Henson was a genius. You got King Kong from the earlier movies that came out. All right, so we're gonna start with some of my favorite cartoons right here. This is Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles was one of my favorite cartoons coming up as a kid. Anybody growing up in the 80s, 90s era, you already know what Ninja Turtles was. It was the best thing ever. So we got Michelangelo, we got Raphael, we got Donatello, we got Leonardo, and all of these are original 1988 characters. And we have I forget his name, something Gorilla, but he was part of the Ninja Turtles cast and crew. Sergeant Bananas, that was his name, Sergeant Bananas. He was part of the Ninja Turtles crew too as well. And I think this rabbit right here is Usagi, I think his name is. He was part of the Ninja Turtles as well. And in the back there, that's Master Splinter. He's kind of naked. We got the Rat King, the original Rat King. We got the original Splinter, and we got the original Bebop and Rocksteady back there. From the movie Space Jam, Michael Jordan Space Jam action figures right here, still in the box from 1995, never opened those. So 95 to 2020, you do the maths on that, you feel me? Let's move over to the other one. This is him in his in the uniform playing for the Toon Squad right there. This is MJ Toon Squad MVP 1995 action figure, never opened. In the back there, I got Rock and Roll Donatello, and I got Hip Hop Michelangelo. If y'all ever seen those from back in the days, those are like spin-off Ninja Turtle characters. So I got the Dark Knight in the back. I got Superman right there. Got Robin. So you got Lionel and Mumra back there. That Michael Jackson action figure, not to be confused with a doll from the 1980s. Bulma. Of course, a Bulma figurine. Had to have Bulma. Bulma was too sweet not to get. Of course, the Mistress of Darkness, Elvira. If you ever came up back in the 80s and 90s, Elvira was real sexy. Had to have Elvira there. She was bad. Mistress of Darkness. Please don't hate on him. You got Slide from the Thundercats. He's a 1985, I think, figurine. And you got these 1988s right here. These are the Raisins, the California Raisins. Anybody remember the California Raisins from back in the days? Those are those guys. Kung Fu Panda, that's Poe. That E.T. right there is 1980s. One of the greatest villains of all time, the Joker. We have Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Then we have one of these Michael Jordan starting lineup figures right there. Those were made in the 80s, 90s era. Then we have that, I think this was Donatello with a Michael Jordan Donatello spin-off kind of thing right there. I had to have him. That was too dope not to have. Gonzo is very fresh in his Bordeaux and his Argyle sweater with his button up underneath. I love Gonzo. He was one of my favorite Muppets. All right, let's move down a little bit. When we're talking about movies and we're talking about collecting film memorabilia, how could you not have something that's Star Wars, right? So C-3PO over there, we got Chewbacca, we got R2-D2, and we got Darth Vader in Funko Pop form. Okay, we got Goku right here in his Super Saiyan form right here. I love this piece right here. Especially I love this about Goku is that he got his full hair out right there. You know what I mean? This is just a cool piece to me that I had to have. You know what I mean? I love Dragon Ball Z, one of my favorite animation or my favorite animation of all time right there. The Notorious B.I.G. always got to represent Brooklyn, always at all times. You got Prince right there, the God of Funk. You got Rick James up there, the first God of Funk, the God and the Prince and the God of Funk right there. Rick James and Prince, man. All right, so you see we got Mumra, we got Lionel, we got Jason Voorhees back there. We got my favorite bad guy. You know what I mean? My favorite bad guy holding the voodoo doll, Chucky right there, and Loyal Subject, love that guy right there. And if you know anything about Dragon Ball Z, this is the Grand Xeno. Then of course, come on man, DuckTales. Yo, Scrooge was all about his money. We got this guy right here, that's a rare. I don't know how much y'all ever seen this before. This is Michelangelo dressed up as a bandolero. I can say Michelangelo as the bandolero right there. And I have this in a, I don't know how much you ever seen this before, but this is a Ninja Turtle bike with a sidecar. So that's Michelangelo right there in the sidecar and Raphael driving it. Then I got, of course, Donatello. I can't remember who this female figurine is. I got her free from some game back in the days. And you got Donatello right there. And you got some more Loyal Subjects from Masters of the Universe right there. Those two characters. I can't remember their Cyclops, and I don't remember the other one name. And my favorite, one of my favorite things in my whole room right here, you guys should already know, is this guy right here. This Chucky is like one of my favorite guys right here. He got the good guy burned out suit on with his knife stuck into his little pocket right there. He even got his little Chucky shoes on, man. Stop playing. The Chucky shoes on. Stop playing with me, man. You feel me? Stop playing with me, because this movie was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, and it's still one of my favorite movies. And of course, the most foul-talking beer, I love this guy, Ted. You know what I mean? Ted right here with his t-shirt on, he got a bottle of Ted beer. This is from the movie Ted 2, right here, paying homage and respect to Ted. Of course, my two foul-mouthed brothers right there. Love them two guys right there, you know what I mean?